In the last 2 generations, male joblessness, suicide, depression, isolation, and educational failure, they've all surged. Fatherlessness, once 9% in the 1960s, is now 25%. Children who hit adulthood with both biological parents in the home, they're now a minority demographic, and it's usually not moms that leave. Dads do. Our churches, by the numbers, whether Catholic or mainline Protestant, many of them, they're now women's groups with a few male officers. Now, all of that's a problem for this generation, but it's a crisis for the next. Why? Well, 2 reasons. First, at the natural level, fathers are among the strongest predictors of a child's well-being. Emotionally, academically, in relationships, and eventually in the workplace, dads matter. Second, sociology shows that children are far more likely to follow the faith patterns of their father more than their mother. So, men are in a bad spot today, and today's men predict the world and the church of tomorrow. When men fall, families fall. When families fall, the church and the world falls. That's Satan's strategy. Now, what do? We rebuild the church by rebuilding families, and we rebuild families by rebuilding men. We flip Satan's strategy on its head. But where do we start? Well, we start with a picture. This book is driven by a single central question. What is the picture on which we should model our masculinity? That picture matters. Frankly, it matters for any man aged 12 to 92. It matters to any single man looking to be more masculine. It matters to any father looking to raise sons. And it matters to any grandfather battling for the future. What does masculinity look like? What does that picture look like for single men, for married men, or for celibate men? How do we live it? This book confronts the crisis of men head-on, both inside and outside the church. It begins by naming the confusion, and then it rebuilds manhood in 3 movements. First, it looks at masculinity before sin, the original design of man as shown in Genesis, as God intended it. Second, it examines masculinity after sin, how fear, lust, pride, and passivity distort the male soul. Third, it paints a vision for redeemed masculinity in Christ. That vision is then brought to bear on married men, and then for single men and for celibates. This book closes with directions for reversing societal trends, and all of that in about 135 pages. Short and strong. This book is the fruit of my doctoral studies and 10 years of working with men, but it's written for guys who don't read theology, with footnotes for guys who do. I pray it serves you. And some of you, I hope it motivates you to throw your weight into the fight with me. There is no perfect book on manhood, and this book doesn't claim to be. No words encircle the image that God radiates through men. No text, no framework, no theological vision will renew masculinity on its own. You've got to do that. And if this book strikes a chord with you, don't let it end at inspiration. Animate it. Leave a review, buy copies for your friends, use the study guide to walk through the text with a small group of men, build a brotherhood, have hard conversations, reverse the cultural tide, and like the title says, be a new Adam.